Yeah, you know, everyone noticed it except me. I didn't even look at the mirror this morning, and my wife looked at me.
Man thing to do. I never not look in the mirror.
Oh. The man thing to do. Okay, got it. Not to look in the mirror. Yeah, you get up in the morning, you just, you know, grab some.
I need to braid my hair every morning. I'm definitely.
Yeah, yeah, me too. It takes me forever to braid my hair. Not that you're actually doing this in a fight. Fight you rarely. I mean, you'll do this sometimes, but it'll be one motion, not like a continuous motion. Perfect. I'm gonna catch, as I catch, bam, here, and boom, like that. And those are the two that we went over last time. The most common one is the close. I'm coming in, bam, I'm gonna be doing that. You'll see that 80% of the time, because most people, very rarely do people just line up like this. Most of the time, they're gonna have the stick up high, like a baseball bat. You know, that's our culture, really. I mean, people like this, and this is the most primal. I mean, think about it. If I'm defending, you know, my kin or friends here, and I see this mean old guy over here coming at me, look, you know, I want to take your lunch money, I'm going to be doing this. It's a threat. It's about as primitive, primal as it gets. That's the situation. That's the way you're going to. That's the scenario you're going to close in on 90% of or 80% of the time. You know, you'll see in some of these fights, which I had questions about, they'll go for the legs here. Let me show you something. This is an example of a specimen I use to illustrate my point. Nothing, right? Nothing. That's about as much as he'll feel in the heat of battle when we're here and I'm doing this. Yeah, okay, I feel it, but does it affect my fight? Not even. I won't even notice it after lunch. So my point is, when I'm here, if you go here, first of all, you're putting your stick down to where you can grab it. The last thing I want him to do is to grab the stick. Now we're at this 50-50 position, better than nothing, but I'd rather be 80-20 here. If I got this, if I go here, first thing you need to do is going to grab it. So when I first come in, like I say, you'll almost always get the first thrust. That's why I say do a thrust first, because they're not expecting it. So I come here, shoot, like that, and then pull it out immediately. If the guy has any sort of athletic fighting intelligence, he'll register the one, like, okay, watch that one. So he's gonna be onto it. So his first thing he's gonna do is reach for it, either for the stick or my hand or my arm, whatever, just to smother it, because that's what he's trying to do. You want to know, yeah, it's not a killer shot, but it's not comfortable. So boom, here, I pull out, bam. Well, while I'm doing this, he's not just hanging out there. He's gonna try and get this guy out too, because if he doesn't block, I'll show you not today, but I'll show you next time, there's a thing called the fang, which goes around the throat. He doesn't want that. So he's gonna be pulling this out. And through this, by either pushing off with this hand or reaching, we're gonna get down to here. Now, this is where the next disarm comes in. As long as this is free enough, he has the other stick, won't work. That's why I get it free here. Threaten this. I call it, you're selling the shot. What am I selling? I'm selling, I want to put this through your forehead. If you don't block it, you're going to have a dent in your forehead. So if I come here, bam, he's got to block it. Bam, he's got to block it, right? So, and I know this. He knows it. He sees it coming. I might try once, he'll block, and then so here comes another one. So instead of going here, I go wham, like that. And I'm not trying to hit with the puño. This part of the stick is called the puño. I'm not trying to, you'll miss, guarantee you'll miss. What you're trying to do is hit this inside of his wrist, right about there, with right about there. And as I'm doing, I'm pulling in, so it's like a shearing motion. So as he comes in like here, you know, hey, you got to block, you wham, like that. And you will get the stick at that point. Very rarely will it go whee, like that, because, man, unless you totally screw it up. But,
I will.
But you're trying to get this. Now, there are times, there's a variation on this, there are times when you miss, like maybe as you're coming down, he kind of pushes your elbow and you're like that. So if you do miss, or he's got that strong a gorilla grip, if you do miss, step 2 is to pull up like that. So as I come in, he doesn't cooperate, or I miss somehow, boom, up like that. And this one, you can't just muscle. You have to turn your body and torque it, because if you don't, if I just do this, he might jump on my back. So what I gotta do, I gotta pull out and let off another shot. So let's go with that variation. So we're gonna go, you're closing, he's slipping back, you've blocked your shot, and you've gone all the way down to his stick. Here, you're this, you got this, but he's onto you at this point. He's blocking. And you know, the way people do it sometimes, like you can feel, Jeremiah, you should show your elbow around here sometime. Got very sharp joints. Boom, boom, sell the shot. And I mean sell like, I gotta believe, he's gotta believe that I'm coming at him, because maybe I did it once already. My next shot is wham, like that, in the hand. And as you come, you're pulling out. So you don't go like that. Doing this won't do anything. Pulling out like that is what it is. All right, pair up. What's that?
Maybe push on. I mean, I might go hang on from the hand for chops, or even from the chop. I have a pretty solid grip. I am going to let go.
Especially if you're going hard with it.
I think there's some issues on top of that, like you can't just stop. Do this. Now I'm
And they conquered them.
well.
There's a certain amount of glee. Did you see how he
I know.
smiled? He smiled
He
like,
loves beating me up.
I could tell. I could see that. I'm like, you know, Jose, you're kind of enjoying this a little too much. But yeah, you got the idea though. And if you are real close, I mean, if you get in here, the disarm is going to be different. I mean, if you're in here, you're probably running her over too in the process, because you don't, to get there, you don't walk in, because she's just going to back up, right? So the way you get that close is if you see something. Typically, what I look for, if I see the stick out front like this, as a habit, you know, because some people habitually will have it. If it's not moving or it's kind of static, I know what it can do, and I know how it has to move in order to be a problem. If right there, she has to pull it back, then hit, right? And that,
Because you can't create much power from already being.
yeah, if it's already here, tip tap, not gonna happen.
Back here.
A lot more power.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if it's not, but if someone stays there, you also know, so she just, let's say you just stay there like that. Well, I know where it is,
Yeah.
break off. But that's the counter, but you better do it like now. Not like a second from now. It's like
You said put up your elbow? Like
push the elbow,
push up his-
because
okay, gotcha.
I'm coming here,
Gotcha.
push the elbow up. Right.
Okay.
And what'll happen, because we're going back and forth this, as he pushes up, I feel I'm gonna break out. Now this is where I might end up here. Yeah, because as he's pushing up, he doesn't have my stick, and I still have my hand wrapped around here. So that's where I'm going to be. I'll threaten, and then bam, like that. Like that.
Is the water clean, Professor? Or is it
Water is clean.
okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it's the first thing I did. Just everyone knows that. Makes sense. Give it a shot like this. I mean, you're like, oops, sorry. Oh man, sorry.
Did Steve pay
Woo!
you for that?
Sorry, he did, but it was not enough. So as he's blocking here, I'm selling the shot. So he's got to block. If he doesn't block, I'm going to go through his head just like I just did a minute ago. So as I'm coming, wham! And this I'm pulling to me.
Right here.
Yeah, pull to, and I'm hitting with this part here, right, bam, like this. Now, let's say he survives that. Yeah, bam, he survives it. I have in this, as soon as, and I'll know, because it should be instant. But if he's going to disarm, it should be like immediate. But if it's not, bam, and I pull up like that. And when I pull up, I am in a position to come down. Yeah, just like that. Make sense? Sorry about your head. Don't tell your wife. Tell her it was Steve. Blame Steve. Yeah, let me see.
You can get that.
You can. going mismatched leads, disarms, I think are tricky at best.
Tricky, he says, just keep whacking them.
Tricky at best. Your best, if you're coming in, is to attack and then come inside. At that point, you're probably. I mean, can you
You're
get a
gonna have to
disarm?
become more of a grappler and go in. You can't just.
Well, because it's going to end up here. Now, if we're mismatched leads, the way I close is I have to, she's swinging in like this. I have to match it like that. Yeah, I have to match it like this, come across, and then in like so.
But for her, she probably just go like that.
Maybe.
Fingers into the face.
Yeah, maybe.
Me.
All right, so I just want to say thank you all for coming. This question came up about, what do I do to handle this or handle that? The basics of this is swing hard. If I don't feel you can hurt me, nothing matters. And no disarms, no fancy footwork. If you can't hurt the person with this, and when I say hurt them, I'm not talking about, tippy tap here, there, on the thigh, like that. I'm talking about when I swing and he blocks it with his hand, I want that hand to break. Yeah, so I may not kill him, but now he's got a flipper and not a hand. Can't close, can't do anything. Maybe he can clinch if he gets close enough. Every shot has to hurt. Now, there are times where you're going to finesse some things, but your foundation has to be power first, then everything flows from that. And with that, I'm done. Thank you. Right. Right. So we covered the inside snake disarm where the strikers come like this. We block basically behind a roof block and you're coming, your arm is snaking around like so. The outside snake attack is when someone is throwing a backhand, the backhand is coming this way. I'm catching it, bringing my hand over the wrist and hooking it in like so and flipping your elbow over, which will send the stick out. In both those instances, you'll probably not get a hold of the stick. Sometimes with the inside one, you probably have a better chance of that. The outside one, very rarely will you actually be able to hold on to the stick. Now, the hammer drop disarm comes off basically a failed close when you're coming behind a roof block and the person is coming in with an overhand shot like this or on the side like this, and you are trying to snake, he backs up, and you go from being on his arm all the way down to the stick. And now, you have the stick here. His hand is here, for example. I went from there all the way down to here, and I have a stick like this. I've done a thrust, maybe I've done a hit as well, but I don't really have the disarm like I was showing before. What you do have, however, is what I like to call the hammer drop, because if I have this here, after doing a thrust, he's thinking about this motion. So as I'm thrusting in like that, he's going to be trying to parry that, sidestep it, just whatever, just smother. I'm going to pull my stick out. At this point, his hand is going to be here, his wrist will be right here, and I'm going to wind up, pretend I'm going to hit him in the face, or maybe I'll hit him once, just so he thinks about it, and then come down, bam, across, like this. Now, I'm not trying to hit with the puño. I'm trying to hit this part of my wrist on this part of his wrist. So as I come across, boom, this is going to pull up, or at least keep it stable, because you don't want it to kind of give, because then the whole impact is lost. So I keep it steady, or ideally I'm pulling it up. At worst, I keep it steady, come down, smash like this, and rip out. Now, there are times where either in the process of me coming across, he either pushes my elbow or I just simply miss. Or he's got a really good, gorilla grip where it was a good shot, but he held on to it somehow. When that happens, with the puño of my stick here, I hook and I pull out. And I really emphasize turning your body like so, because if you just try to do this, your back's, with all this momentum, your back's a little exposed. If he's a jiu-jitsu guy or some guy who's good on the ground, he's going to know he's going to lose a stick. He is right next to you. So in his case, ideally, he will just jump on your back. And even though you have two sticks, if the guy's on your back, it's a real tough fight from that point. He'll try to take you on the ground or choke you out or whatever. So as soon as you try to rip this part out, pull out real hard. This also kind of turns the body a little bit. So like this winds up and one shot, maybe two if that's what it takes. This, like I said, it comes off more often in a failed close or failed inside snake disarm. Really effective though, because man, the minute you hit one of these things, you know instantly it's out of his hand. Plus it doesn't fall. If you have them both, if you're comfortable with the 2 sticks, from here, you got this one here, flip it around, you got 2 sticks at that point. Otherwise, throw it to a friend or just throw it away so he can't get it. Just make sure he doesn't pick it up. So that's the Hammer Drop Disarm. It comes, I would say, out of the 4 I've shown you 3 so far. The first one that comes most often is the inside snake. The Hammer Drop's probably number 2. Comes out a lot. Hope you enjoy it. Give it a shot. Let me know how it goes. Talk to you then.
Join the battle. Top Dog Fighting rocks.